Hello again, and welcome to the Scary Stories channel. Thank you for watching our haunted scary stories. There are many more scary stories to come, so be sure to subscribe down below. Our first scary story tonight is entitled Haunted Bunk Beds. A man named Lee and his wife Brenda loved to antique shop, go to auctions, and garage sales. They furnished their home with fine antiques and things they would find at these places. Brenda loved to decorate, and they could even save money by doing this. They had a big, beautiful home in the country where they had lived for 10 years and were raising 3 children, 2 twin boys, age 5, and a 7-year-old girl. One day the boys needed bigger beds. They decided that they still wanted to share a room, so they wanted a set of bunk beds. So, Lee and Brenda went to the garage sales and an estate auction the following weekend. Sure enough, they found a set of bunk beds for their boys. The kids were so excited. Solid wood and cheap. But they wondered why they were so cheap. They just figured that they were trying to get rid of everything. So they brought them home and set them up. The boys were so excited for their new beds. After about a week, the boys got up out of their new bunk beds, and they did not want to sleep in their room. They told their mom and their dad that they were seeing a man and a woman in their room. Just thinking they had seen something on TV, they dismissed it. They made the boys sleep in their room. After another week of restless nights, Lee and Brenda wondered if their house was haunted, but couldn't figure out why because they had lived there peacefully for 10 years. Each sleepless night turned into terror as the boys woke up screaming, trying to choke one another, throw things, talk in different voices, and the boys seemed to turn evil with each passing night. The boys had to be constantly supervised not to hurt one another, their sister, or even a visitor. Lee and Brenda became fearful of their own children. So Brenda decided to ask her pastor for help. The pastor came to observe the family for the afternoon. He had always loved the family. The parents were kind people, and the children were well behaved. But what he saw that afternoon was like nothing he had ever experienced. The children seemed angry, and like they were not even her children. He asked Brenda if their home was haunted. She replied, "We have lived here for 10 years, and nothing has ever been wrong here." The pastor asked, "Have you bought anything lately? I know you like to go to estate sales and garage sales." Brenda replied, "Oh my God, yes. We bought the boys a set of bunk beds at an auction." About 10 minutes later, Lee returned home to find Brenda and the pastor destroying the bunk bed and taking it out to the field to burn. Lee questioned what they were doing. He said, "How could a bunk bed be haunted?" Brenda replied, "We don't know who has owned this, or how many people, and where it came from. We have to start somewhere. Help us." So Lee did what his wife asked. They poured gasoline on the bunk bed and lit a match. The bunk bed rose in flames to the sky. It almost came alive as the wood burned and seemed to scream as it burned hotter and hotter. They stood there and watched it turn to ash. Afterwards, they buried the ashes. After that, everything returned to normal for Lee, Brenda, and their kids. That is an experience they will never forget. So, the next time you are at a garage sale, antique store, or auction, watch out for what you are purchasing. You just might be taking evil home with you. Our second story tonight is entitled The Closet. This scary story is one that would bring sheer terror to anyone. About 15 years ago, on a cool fall day, my friend Sam asked me to help him move out of his rental home. He was moving back to the small town where he grew up and where I currently lived. It was about 100 miles away. He was transferring back to a factory nearby with his wife and kids. He hadn't lived there long. I asked him why they were moving back so soon. He said, "It just didn't work out." I told him, "No problem." So my wife and I made the 100-mile journey to his current home to help finish packing, load the truck, and head back home. I was sad it didn't work out, but it would be great to have them back in the area. As we were finishing up packing, it was getting late. Sam and I decided to let our wives take the cars and drive the 100 miles and stay at our house. Sam and I, we would spend the night, finish loading the truck, and leave in the morning. We got some blankets and pillows and settled in for what would be a very short night. Sam and I talked for a moment, and I decided to ask again. "So, Sam, why are you moving back home to work at a factory and leave your new life and what appeared to be a great old house with lots of character and charm?" He said, "Now that our wives are gone, I will be honest with you. About 3 months ago, we started hearing footsteps upstairs, and things started to move around and disappear. At first, we didn't think much of it. Then we would hear screams coming from the upstairs. With the landlord's permission, it was when I decided to remodel the upstairs bathroom that we stumbled upon a gruesome discovery. I tore out the closet and discovered that the closet seemed like it should be much bigger than it actually was. So I began to tear out what looked like another wall and found a noose hanging in the back of the closet. It was then terrible things started to happen. I had marks on my arms, I began to hate my family, and I knew it was time to make a change. We had to for the safety of our family. I asked the landlord to come over and I showed him what I had found. He told me that the home had been in his family for generations, and a long, long time ago, his great-great-grandmother had hung herself in the closet. He told me they boarded up the back of the closet and pretended like it never happened. No one has rented the place long. I get the same stories from each tenant. Things moving, screaming, and families turning on each other. He gladly broke my lease and apologized for not telling me the truth from the beginning. I told Sam that really makes me want to go to sleep now, but we better try. We still had stuff to load in the morning and had a long drive ahead of us. All I was thinking laying there was, "Morning, please hurry up and come." So I fell asleep. Several hours later, I woke up and I thought it seemed really dark. Even for being in a bedroom, no light from the moon outside. I quickly realized that I wasn't in the bedroom, but in the bathroom closet. I started screaming. Sam woke up and came into the bathroom where I was locked in. He pulled and pushed the door, and it seemed like forever for him to get the door open. When it finally opened, he grabbed me. We ran out of the house, got in the truck, and drove as fast as we could, never looking back. I was never so glad to see my wife and be home. Sam's wife asked him where the rest of the furniture was that we were supposed to load. Sam told her it was best just left behind. She nodded and didn't question him about it any further. Since that day, we have never told our wives what happened or spoken of it to each other ever again. We do look at each other once in a while, and I know we are both thinking the same thing, of that night and what happened. I have no idea how I woke up in a closet, but I know it will always be with me. That night changed me forever. So the next time you are scanning the paper or internet for rental property, keep in mind to ask the landlord if there are any strange things that have happened in the house. Did you ask this question before moving into the house you're in now? This is something to ponder and think about as you are going to sleep tonight. So as always, good night, sleep tight, from the Scary Stories channel.